The next is complex forms. When you're talking about complex forms, I want you to remember what a theme is. A theme is a melodic idea that we're going to use to build a piece of music. Remember, just think of coffee and all the different ways you can do coffee. So if I want to develop that theme of coffee, I can state that, I can make it longer, I can put it at a higher pitch level, I can embellish it. And here's the Purcell rondo again, so that you can hear that this thematic development is happening where they take a theme and they do it a little bit differently. Kind of like Mozart's theme and variation. But we're going to take a chunk of it and just develop it. Just playing around with that theme. Here it comes back again. Okay, so that is thematic development. You can also take that theme and you can twist it in all kinds of different ways. So this is a piece called Symphonie Fantastique. It's by a composer named Berlioz from the Romantic era. And Hector Berlioz wrote this Symphonie Fantastique, and each movement has a melody. Now, it's a really cool story. It's fiction, but it's about this man who falls in love with this woman, and she's too good, too high class, he can't have her, and he knows he can't have her. So he goes and he does some opium, and he has this hallucination that he's killed her, and then he has to be executed. So the fourth movement is his march to the gallows, and then the fifth movement is his descent into the depths of hell, where the witches and the creatures in hell mock him. And Berlioz used this one theme, this love-sick, longing theme for this woman, and he plays it through every single movement in different ways. So you're taking an idea and you're just going to do it a little bit differently and make a whole song out of it. That's called an idée fixée. So I'll play a little bit of this for you so you can hear how he does this.
Even the beloved one herself, the one who's made him lovesick, has become for him a melody, like a fixed idea which he hears everywhere, always returning. Unquote. A fixed idea, remember that. In French, idée fixe. In other words, an obsession. You all know what an obsession is. It's something that takes hold of your mind and won't let go. Well, in this symphony, the obsession is Berlioz's beloved, she who has made him so desperately lovesick. She haunts the symphony. Wherever the music goes, she keeps intruding, interrupting, returning in endless forms and shapes. So you can see that if we're going to understand anything about this weird symphony, the first thing we have to know is that idée fixe melody, the theme of the beloved, and be able to recognize it each time it appears, no matter how it's disguised. Here it is, or at least the first phrase of it. That's the first phrase.
Okay, that's the first time we hear it, and that would be in the first movement. It's kind of a lovesick, longing melody. And then in the second movement, he sees her at the ball, and here's her melody appears when he sees her. Okay, so he just saw her at the ball. The third movement, he uses elements like instrumentation and rhythmic figures to hint at this motive from the theme in the third movement. The third movement, here we go. So it's just a little hint of that idée fixe. The fourth movement is the march to the gallows. He's going to be executed because he's killed her and he's going to be executed. They're going to chop his head off. And it's kind of like Braveheart, where right at the end of Braveheart, right before he dies, he sees his beloved. Well, it happens in this. Actually, this happened first. This story came first. Right before he's about to have his head chopped off, he hears the melody of his beloved. And his head just got chopped off. But he hears her song right before he dies. Then he descends into hell. This is the fifth movement, and it's called The Dreams of a Witch's Sabbath. And in this, the idée fixe, la da la la, I can't sing it, la da ba da ba doo, gets all weird and funny. Sorry, that was really bad, but it's really late. So the idée fixe gets weird and cackly like witches making fun of him. Right there. Okay, so he actually wrote a whole symphony, 5 movements, all based on that theme. I'm going to stop this and then I'll do part 2.